The first big update to bring permanent content to New Horizons is here, and it's packed with all kinds of treats. And some not-so treats. While I'll cover some Datamine information, warnings will be provided if you just want a basic summary of what was included in the latest patch, so don't worry if you want to avoid spoilers involving the specifics of future events. Before we get started, in my last patch note video involving Bunny Day, I stated that there were 2 important unknown questions about how the event was going to be handled, which can now be answered. First, it's unknown if all access to the event will be restricted after the 2-week period. For example, could a player download the update, miss the event, and then be able to time travel backwards to participate? Yes. The event still runs normally when you time travel backwards to any point during the event period. Second, we don't know if, once the event ends, an internet check will still be required to participate in the following years. Interestingly, if you time travel forward to Easter 2021, the event isn't live. I wonder if that suggests the event will be different or provide new rewards the next time around. We'll just have to wait and see. With that out of the way, I'm Johnny of Club Knox. Let's look at everything included in patch 1.2.0. As we know from the official trailer, Leaf is making a return. He'll be very likely to appear at the plaza during the Nature Day event period, which lasts from April 23rd to May 4th, after which he'll become a traveling merchant. He will sell flowers not normally available on your island, as well as the new Shrub Plants. Shrubs are small bushes with flowers that bloom during particular months. IGN has a great graphic depicting all the different flower types and the time period in which they'll bloom, which you can find in the description. Unfortunately, since the watering can has no effect on shrubs, they don't have any hybrid forms. Aside from the aesthetics, you can also plant shrubs to unlock the new Nook Miles achievement, Shrubbery Hubbubbery. There are also a variety of Nook Miles Plus achievements that you can earn daily throughout the event, such as crafting a flower crown or planting coconuts on the beach. Leaf also buys clumps of weeds for double the price the Nookling shop offers, which, by the way, also counts towards the Greedy Weeder Nook Mile achievement. There is no requirement to get Leaf to appear in the plaza, so long as you have completed the tutorial. During this event period, Tom Nook will teach the player how to craft hedges, which are essentially flowerless shrubs that use fence mechanics. It takes 10 weeds, 5 tree branches, and 2 stones to craft 10 pieces of hedge fencing. The new update also adds Crazy Red. Actually, I guess he's going by Jolly Red now, which is probably a very wise business decision for him. Anyway, Red can be found wandering your island after you've made at least 60 total donations to your museum. After you buy his initial artwork, talk to Blathers to start construction on the art exhibit on the upper floor. You can then enter Red's boat on the secret beach to the north of your island to purchase artwork from him. He will randomly visit on a weekly basis. He'll sell 4 pieces of art, and while at least one of them is highly likely to be legitimate, the other 3 could possibly be fakes, though there have been reports that more than one can be genuine, or all of them can be fake. In total, there are 43 works of art to collect, with 27 possibly having forgeries, and 3 of which can potentially be haunted. You can find a full list of these artworks and their fakes using the link in the description. He also has a small store with items for sale as well. 2 new Nook Miles achievements were added related to art. True Patron of the Arts, which is unlocked based on the number of times you bought art that turned out to be genuine, and Faked Out, which is unlocked when you attempt to donate a fake piece of art to Blathers. Several more seasonal events were added to the game which require internet checks to access, and therefore can't be completed early by time traveling. First up is May Day, which runs from May 1st to May 7th. Use the special May Day ticket during the event period to go to a limited time island maze tour. It looks like you'll have to collect crafting materials to unlock tools to make it to the end of the maze, where Rover appears to be waiting. From here on, I'll use a spoiler warning for any potential Datamine spoilers. If you don't want to see rewards or items involved in these upcoming events, skip to the indicated time. Spoiler warning, please skip ahead to the indicated time. So what's the reward for completing the May Day tour maze? It's Rover's briefcase. It's nice to see him return in some fashion, even if I think he should have been a passenger on the plane with you at the beginning of the game. Here's also a nice bird's eye view of the map, courtesy of Dataminer Nicholas. Hey, stop looking at that and planning your route, it's cheating. By the way, a worn axe item was also found in the game's files. It appears to be an axe that breaks after 3 uses, and can only be used during the maze. Dodo dialogue suggests that you won't be able to bring your own tools to the tour or buy new ones upon arrival, which makes sense considering you could destroy the entire maze otherwise. Spoilers end. Next up is International Museum Day, which runs from May 18th to May 31st. It's a stamp rally event where you go to different exhibits in the museum and collect stamps to claim rewards. It's likely you won't be able to participate if the museum is still a tent, so you should take this time to upgrade it while you can if you haven't already. Plus, the museum will be closed for a day when it's being upgraded, so keep that in mind. You know, if for some reason you were planning to participate in the event on the last day and just so happened to get the upgrade on that same day, you know that's gonna happen to someone out there. Before I get into the spoilers, I'll just mention that there's some evidence that suggests the art exhibit won't be involved in the event, so don't worry if you're not close to getting the 60 required donations to unlock it before Museum Day. What is that evidence based off of? Spoiler warning again, please skip ahead to the indicated time. Well, the rewards for the event that have been datamined show a bug plaque, which is the reward for completing the stamp rally in the bug exhibit, a fish plaque, which is the reward for completing the stamp rally in the fish exhibit, and finally, the fossil plaque, which is, you guessed it, the reward for completing the stamp rally in the butterfly exhibit. Just kidding, of course it's for the fossil exhibit. Spoilers end here. The last big event advertised in the trailer shows the return of Cyrus and Reese during the wedding season event, which will take place the entire month of June. By the way, Red, Leaf, Rover, Cyrus, and Reese are now available in Photopia upon scanning their amiibo card. Apparently Cyrus and Reese want to get some anniversary photos made, so it's up to you to create sets for their photos. The official trailer didn't reveal much about this event, but the Datamine sure did. You know what's coming. Spoiler warning, skip ahead to the indicated time. It would appear that participating in the event will net you heart crystals, which stack to 30. Perhaps you'll earn more crystals depending on how well you decorate each set. Regardless, based on Datamine dialogue, it appears Cyrus is willing to trade you his furniture from the wedding set in exchange for heart crystals. These furniture items can also be customized to create 3 variations each. The wedding set includes the wedding ark, wedding bench, wedding chair, wedding flower stand, wedding head table, wedding pipe organ, wedding table, wedding cake, wedding candle set, wedding decoration, and 6 variations of the wedding welcome board. There are also a variety of wallpapers, flooring, and rugs, as well as the Reese and Cyrus photo plate, wedding fencing, wedding tuxedo, cake dress, bridal veil, wedding pumps, and wedding shoes. Whew, now wedding doesn't seem like a word anymore. That's called semantic satiation, by the way. It's currently unknown if all the previously listed items will be up for exchange, but at the very least the furniture items appear to be. Based on dialogue, it appears you'll only be able to decorate the set and take photos once per day throughout the event. Also, similar to the Bunny Day event, the final prize is a DIY recipe for a wedding wand. Keep in mind the only DIY recipes for the wedding set are the wand and the fence, so the rest of the items can probably only be obtained from Cyrus. Personally, I just really want that wedding cake. Spoilers end here. Whew, that was a lot of information, but the spoilers end here for those jumping around. Everyone else had a great time learning about how we should be crafting lots of axes for the gladiator fights that will lead up to the objection of the wedding ceremony. Oops, I said too much. Finally, the last section of the patch notes stated, addressed issues to further ensure an enjoyable gaming experience, which is just about as non-specific as you can get. This basically includes everything that wasn't a major content update. The game tells you in a letter from Tom Nook that there's been a nerf to the interest rate. This is likely to prevent time travelers from continuing to make bells quickly by skipping ahead and collecting interest from the ADB. I'm not sure why it's being nerfed now, since this has been a known method to cheat the system throughout the series, but players will receive a bell bag rug as compensation, which I can say is more than my actual bank has ever given me. So how bad is the nerf? Sources indicate that it has been cut from 0.5% to 0.05%, which, again, is still more than my actual bank gives me. Players will also receive a world map, which has 2 versions, Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. That wasn't the only economic change, however. Turnips follow predetermined trends throughout the week. Some are good, some are bad. While time traveling with turnips will cause them to rot, some people were time traveling to extend their high price window so that others could sell on their island, or so they could buy on another island to resell on theirs. Previous to patch 1.2.0, You could time travel back to retain the turnip price, so long as you didn't travel further than the time window for that price. If you traveled outside of that window, the price would reset to a random trend. However, with this update, traveling any amount of time, even 1 minute, now resets the turnip trend, which can actually be beneficial in certain cases. Datamine or Ninja found changes to the bug spawn rate. Spawn rates have apparently been unified for all insects. For example, regular stink bugs are up by 100%, while man-faced stink bugs are down 50%, and the rates of tarantulas and scorpions have also been nerfed significantly. In general, it's now a bit harder to consistently find rarer bugs, but at the same time, you're more likely to see a wider variety of insects at any given point. This was likely to prevent people from making lots of bells by force creating tarantula islands or catching rare butterflies near hybrid flowers. You can see the full list of changes to the bug table in the description. Note that the spawn rates for fish have not been changed. Next, 2 new shirts were added to the Nook Stop, the green and coral Nook Ink Aloha shirts, which now allow you to steal the styles of Tom Nook and Isabelle. Nice. Flowers watered from visitors from other islands now increases their production. For example, getting 5 visitors to water your flowers will give you a production boost of 80%. While this doesn't increase your chance of obtaining hybrids directly, more yield means a greater chance one of them will be a hybrid. Production will also increase if you have at least 10 Lily of the Valley flowers growing on your island, which start popping up once you obtain a 5-star island rating. To see a detailed breakdown of these mechanics, check the link in the description. I've literally put everything in the description. I'm not even sure why you've wasted your time watching this video. Some music mechanics have been updated. While music items outside used to synchronize to play the same song, now each music player can play a different music track at the same time. In addition, as eloquently put by Reddit user Shugonium, guitars now respect how long you press A for. There was a glitch where having a villager move into your town from another player's island would result in that villager's home perpetually giving the message, "I've moved out," with the empty house sitting there for all eternity. Well, until now, because that glitch has fortunately been patched out. You should now be able to adopt villagers from other people's islands without worry, especially Knox. You should adopt Knox. Finally, the most important change to the whole game. Brace yourselves. The switch item has now been renamed Light Switch. No, not that switch. This switch. And that's exactly why it was changed. At least they didn't troll us further by naming it Switch Light. I got bamboozled by shaking a tree once when the switch fell, and it sure did get my hopes up that I got a second Nintendo Switch item. But the reality was much darker. At least now I can turn on the lights. I'm going to wrap up with a few more items found in the Datamine, so for those of you avoiding spoilers, I'll see you next time. As for everyone else, a final spoiler warning. The last few items I came across in the Datamine were the Thank You Mom mug and Thank You Dad mug, which are very likely to be sent to you in the mail for Mother's Day and Father's Day respectively. The 5th of May is Children's Day in Japan, so on that day we may expect to receive the International Children's Day items, which includes the handmade cape and handmade crown. Depending on whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, the summer or winter solstice will occur on June 21st. On this day we can expect to receive the summer solstice crown if playing in the northern hemisphere, or the winter solstice sweater if you're playing in the southern. Final spoilers end. That's all I could find in patch 1.2.0. If you know of anything I missed, let me know in the comments. With that, I'll leave you with this. Value the friends you have, for one day you may need them. See you!